Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Good morning to you, my friends. Oh, I cannot wait for today. You guys are in for a treat because we've had some special guests. I mean, really special guests on this podcast. But today, this guest we got right here is hitting me right in my heart, in my soul. I can't wait to talk to this guest, and I can't wait to share him with you. This is also Motivation Mondays. How was your weekend? How was your weekend? And is there something that we need to help you with to start this calendar week more motivated, with more air in your chest, more strength in your spine, more pep in your step? I'll tell you, Miss Phyllis, good morning to you. I'm so happy that you're here in the room today. You want to be here at 9:15 today. Um, how was your weekend? My weekend was fine. It was good. It was peaceful, but it was missing something. I was missing my rib because my beautiful wife, DrLisa Santiago McNeill, was joined by 10, 12 other women um, at a women's retreat this past weekend. Uh, Get Free, Stay Free retreat, hosted by DrLisa Santiago McNeill and Dr. Deborah Dunstan. And I've been seeing the pictures. I've been talking to them all weekend. It's been a beautiful event. They've had a wonderful time, an enlightening time. But she's coming back today. So this morning, I sit in the big chair by myself. Whee! And no DrLisa. Actually, I didn't sit in her chair. I'm sitting in the chair I normally sit in because I think it's more comfortable. But anyway, I had a good weekend. I had some time with just me and my mother. I had some time with just me and a cigar. I had some time with just taking care of stuff around the house. And I'm giving myself a pat on the back. I was productive. I cleaned up the garage. What? Yes, I did. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. You have more stuff than you realize. And so do I. We forget. We remind ourselves how much stuff we have. Where every time we move, we realize, do we have all this stuff we have? So I started cleaning out my garage and getting rid of some boxes and photos. And then I was like, okay, I can work on this section here and this section here. My gosh, I've got a lot of stuff. And I've been blessed with stuff. George Carlin, some of you guys are old enough to remember him. He had this wonderful bit where he's talking about your stuff. When you need a house to have a place to put your stuff. And then when you go on vacation, you bring some of your stuff with you while you're going on a trip. And then when you go on a trip, when you bring your stuff and you put your stuff in a new place, then oftentimes you pick up more stuff while you're on a trip, and then you bring more stuff back home with you. Now you got even more stuff. And now the word he wasn't using wasn't stuff. It was actually the profane word. He was saying shit. Okay, but still your stuff. Even when I was in the military, they was talking about make sure you get all your stuff out of your barracks and move this place. Don't leave any of your stuff here. And I got some stuff. So today's topic, raise your hand. Today's topic is wrestling with destiny. I've already had a wonderful conversation with our guest today. He actually wrote a book called Wrestling with Destiny. And him and I had a wonderful conversation before we went live. And I said this to him, I almost wish we had titled today's topic, Wrestling with Failure. Now, wrestling with destiny rings. It really rings. It makes sense. And we know we have this, but the thought of succeeding without is ever is just nuts. It's just nuts. It's a part of the process. Now, he's going to talk to you much more eloquently about it than I am. Is that Dr. Beverly in the room? Good morning, Dr. Beverly. She says, grand rising to my favorite, awesome, beautiful family. Dr. Beverly, you're in the right place today. We have an amazing guest. She said, I went out of town to a Level Up Women's Conference. It was completely mind-blowing with 3 exclamation points. Dr. Onika T. Brown in Florence, South Carolina, where we unlocked the lioness within. Rise higher, lead stronger, live aligned. Dr. Beverly, I'm so happy that you went to that women's conference this past weekend because I know it was mind blowing. And I know you guys did unlock. And that's the other reason why you need to go to conferences and you need to go to these events. You cannot duplicate the electricity in the room. You know, you're going to have speakers, that's true. But the real value, I believe, when you go to these conferences is the people that you're amongst. Only certain type of people would go to that. And there's only because the losers won't go. Only winners will go to those things. So the electricity of the people around you, the connections you make. Our guest today, he says sometimes it's just one connection. Sometimes it's just that one connection that's distance between you and where you want to go. But you can't. And even if you tried, Dr. Beverly, you're not gonna be able to do it justice. It was mind blowing. It was great. That ain't it. It was way better than mind blowing. It was way better than great. Like, how do you describe to someone a great concert you went to? I went and saw Earth, Wind, and Fire in a concert, and they were amazing. And the person you tell it to, they heard you. They heard you. Yeah, I'm sure it was great. I'm glad you had a good time, but they ain't get it. It ain't the same. Uzama Ra is in the house. Good morning, Uzama. How you doing, sir? I'm super excited to have you here. Today's topic is wrestling with destiny. And as you can tell, I don't have my beautiful wife with me. I got to rock today solo. She's coming back from the women's retreat and I miss her. Now we have talked every day throughout the day, morning and night. So I didn't miss it so much. Praise God for the technology that we can actually see each other's faces, because I don't like to let too many hours go without seeing my wife's face. Uzama, does it mean I'm old? Because my wife left Friday. Um, your wife's out of town, B. You solo, you can do anything you want, right? You could go out and hang out Friday night, right? No, I didn't feel like it. I could have. My wife's out of town. I didn't feel like going nowhere. I wanted to just chill at the house. Although events are all around me. And then I was wrestling Uzama. Should I get out of the house? Should I stay home? What should I do? So Saturday, um, late afternoon, early evening, I decided, you know what, Brian, I can have my cigar in my garage, which I normally do. I can just go up to our local bar here that have a really, really nice patio, and people smoke cigars out there and listen to music and be around some people. So I decided to go, okay? And I went there and I just had a little bit of, I sat by myself at a small table and there were people around. They were enjoying it. They had a Father's Day celebration going on. And I was happy in the moment. I ate my food. People were greeting me. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? People asked me to take pictures with them. I took pictures with people, just for the scene and all that. As soon as I walked in, there was a photographer. Hey, I need to get a picture of you with these ladies. As soon as I got there, I said, okay, sure, no problem. So I took pictures with people. I sat there and ate my food, and then I had my cigar, and I was happy in the moment. I wasn't bothering anybody. No one was bothering me. I was just in the scene, okay? And after I finished my cigar, paid for my stuff, and I gathered my stuff to leave, and I'm leaving. And as I got to the gate to leave, fellas, a man jumped in front of me and stuck out his hand. He goes, hey, man. He goes, I saw you here all evening. And I made it a point in my mind that before that brother left, I want to show him some love. I want to show you some love, man. I saw you there, man, and you were a vibe by yourself. I just want to let you know I saw you. You were cool, you were calm, you were having a good time, but you wasn't bothering anybody. You didn't want nothing from nobody. He said he could see all this stuff on me. He said he could see all of that. And he wanted to show me love. He introduced himself. His name was Sebastian. I told him my name was Brian. I said, thank you very much. He goes, man, because, you got to get to connect with people. He says, next time you come, if you and I talk together, we might have things in common. We want to talk. So he wanted to meet with me. Now, I didn't go there seeking anything. I just wanted to go there just to be around and have a cigar. But one man saw me sitting there and he wanted to tell me what he saw. And I thought that was so nice. So when I got home, I called my pretty wife and I told her what the scene was. And we was kind of examining what happened there. What caused that reaction? What did I do or say to cause someone across the room that I hadn't even seen, I hadn't talked to at all, to want to get out of his chair and intercept me? He saw something or something. I don't know what it was. Still don't know what it was. Okay, maybe our guest can help us with it. Our guest will be live with us in 6 minutes. Good morning, Susan Kennedy. How you doing, Susan? Susan, did you have a good weekend? I hope you did. Hang one second. I was late starting my coffee this morning, but my coffee is essential. The coffee pot is right here, so I had to make me a cup. Simple joys of life. The first sip of coffee is another simple joy of life. Do you have simple joys? By the way, this is my favorite coffee cup. It says on it Grandpa. Grandpa. This is my favorite cup. Oh, darling Susan, she goes, she had a great weekend, but she's still in so much pain. A lot of you, she's been very transparent to share her journey with us about the challenges she's been having, the health challenges she's been having, the in and out of hospital, the arguing with a doctor challenges. Oh my God. So please extend your hand and send a prayer to our friend Susan Kennedy. Heavenly Father, I want you to do what you need to do for our Susan Kennedy to have some pain relief. I'm not asking you to do anything that's not necessary. Um, we had a situation in our family 4 years ago where pain was the rescue. Pain actually saved my wife's life. Uh, she woke up one morning with a severe back pain, and it was too painful to deal with. So we rushed to emergency room. It was in her lower back. Turned out she had a pulmonary embolism, okay, in her lungs. And the doctors told us that's the kind of thing that people normally discover at an autopsy. If we hadn't gotten her to the emergency room right then, I might not even have my wife. She was that close to losing her life. And pain, we look at that now as the pain that she went through was the rescue. The pain was the impetus to cause us to move. If we didn't have that pain, because normally I try to tough it out. I would try to tough it out. Let me see how I feel in another 6 hours or another day. If the pain lasted, no, 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 not this time. So the pain was actually a rescue for us. I'm not wishing you to have more pain. I want you to have less pain. I want you to have less pain, but I also serve a heavenly Father who does all things in his way. And his ways are not always known to us. Uzama says, weekend was wonderful. Comedy show, basketball game, and did yoga on International Yoga Day. Now, I didn't even know there was an International Yoga Day, but Uzama did. Susan Kennedy says, we are all thankful for your wife. And I do. I appreciate you being thankful for my wife. My cousins and are thankful for my wife. The ones that knew me growing up, they are thankful for my wife too. I've had, my journey included 3 wives, and they all are amazing people. All 3 of my wives were great, great women. Okay, they were. No, I didn't have any bad wives. Okay, I just had situations that didn't precipitate those marriages lasting. But the wife I got now, one of my cousins, Katina, actually said, Brian, you have scored with this wife right here, and we love her so much. She's made a major difference in my life and in my family's life, too. I wish she was on today. She's at the women's retreat. They're preparing to leave the retreat today. Our guest will be live with us in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 hour guest. Oh, my gosh. Can you tell I'm excited about this guest? Last week we had 2 guests, and they were both great. This podcast has been going on. For those of you who are your first time here or visiting here, we've been doing this podcast since October of 2016. October of 2016, we've been doing this live. We used to do it Monday through Friday until just last year. So for 8, 9 years, we did it Monday through Friday like a regular job. We started out as a 15-minute podcast, then quickly went to a 30-minute, then quickly went to a 1 hour, and it's been on 1 hour for 9 years now. 2016, we're in our 10th year of doing this. And throughout this time, we've had some amazing guests, and we're blessed in guests. This podcast is called Let's Talk About It, where we talk about personal conversations, business information, and spiritual inspiration with some shenanigans thrown in. That's what we talk about here. Uzama Ross admits There a day for everything. Daughter's Day, 480, etc. Yes, you're right. Susan said, I thought it was 10 years. You're right, Susan. Help a brother out with math. I have given myself permission to not know everything all the time. And I've given myself permission to not always be right. You know, and I had to learn to give myself permission for that to be the case. Some of us grew up in a generation where the man was supposed to know stuff. The man was supposed to just know. You're a man, you're supposed to know. You're supposed to figure it out. And that's such a harmful thought because that man is a human being too. He doesn't already know everything. He's experiencing life live speed. I meant 420. That could have been a 480 day for all I know. A 420 day. Susan says, wow, you are not always right with 3 question marks. Can you believe it? It's a mystery to me too. If you look at my face, you'll see like these white hairs. These are not cotton. This is actually gray hairs. Life has taught me some things. It's 9:15. Oh! 313 days of Detroit holiday. Coming to the stage. I met him. Him and I met a few months ago through social media, LinkedIn or something. I think we met when we both discovered we're going to be sharing a platform together. And the platform we're sharing is called Dare to Lead Conference. The Dare to Lead Conference put on by General Tawanda Young. Tawanda Young has been a guest here before as well. We had a great time with her too. And so since him and I are sharing a platform, we decided to connect. And we had like a 30-minute, 40-minute conversation on the phone. It was great for both of us. We both got a chance to share our personal brands of brilliance. And so I liked the guy. And then he connected with my wife, and my wife connected with him. And my wife bought his book, Wrestling with Destiny. His name is John Topper. I love the guy. I want you guys to get to know him. Robin C. Stern, you're in the right place at the right time on the right day because I'm about to bring to the stage Mr. John Topper. What's up, John?
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. And your excitement makes me all the more excited to be on your podcast this morning.
Oh, well, I'm excited about you. Now, you heard how I introduced you. Now,
Yes.
before we launch into anything, please introduce yourself however you like.
Yes. Like you said, my name's John Topper. First and foremost, husband, father, believer. I've been in the military for over 30 years. That's obviously been a big part of my life. And I'll just lead in with what this theme is all about today, Wrestling with Destiny. I did just write the book you held up, Wrestling with Destiny. And I'll just go ahead and say that it's about the battles that I faced and we all face between who we've been, who we are, who we want to become. And I'm sure, like all of you, I've wrestled with my mistakes, my identity, relationships, and the belief that my past has disqualified me from my
Mm,
future. That's
mm,
where I was at some point. So, you know, we are defined by everything that's happened in our lives. And it's not just the good, it's also the bad. So I had to get to a point to where I embraced all of it and be content with where I was for all of it. And the biggest opponent I ever faced wasn't in a sport or anything like that. It was that guy in the mirror.
man, I had to grab a
So
notebook because you was already saying some stuff that I needed to capture. He actually
yeah,
just said he was in a place of his life, a moment of his life where he was defined by his past. He had allowed his past mistakes or failures or shortcomings to define who he was. But he also, in the very next sentence, talked about how he's moved from that place, which I think is amazing because I do believe, John, a lot of people are that way.
yes,
Not only defined by their personal past, but their family's past. Our family never does this. Our family doesn't start businesses. We just work for a company. Or we
yes,
drink a lot. That's what we do, not defined by it. Well, we
right.
always are fighting. That doesn't have to be your destiny. Please.
Yeah, you know what they actually are? Anytime we do that, Brian, we hear that word word like victim piece, but I just like to use the word excuse. If we
Mm,
view our circumstances and we're making excuses, right, for why we are where we are, where's that going to take us?
right.
Nowhere. I mean, here's the point I'm making. You can go from failure to success way, way easier than excuses to success.
Well,
So what I
that's
mean by
another one.
that with
Write that
failure,
down.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So now a lot of us, to include me, particularly in sports, I used to just want to win. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win or have success, right? But oh my goodness, I don't want to fail. I don't want to lose, as if they're separate. And you and I talked earlier about how we need to keep success and failure, wins and losses together, because that forces us to look at failure in a healthy way. Because when we do lose or have those setbacks, now it's what can I learn from this? And if we keep success close to failure, it allows us to be more resilient. It
Hmm.
allows us to have hope and much easier take that next step forward without having to have the whole plan figured out. Because hey, that's what life's all about. Keep moving forward. But and on the other side of it, if we don't keep failure next to success, what happens? We get a little bit too egotistical. We're on that high horse too long. We lose that great character trait, humility. So I think it's important that we keep failure close to our successes as well, so we stay humble and willing to grow and learn every day of our lives.
What I
So,
just captured from what you said, because I don't want us to miss it. Okay, he's saying a lot. John, this is your genius. Actually, you're in the area of your genius because this is how you know you're hearing good preaching. You know you're hearing good preaching when you can immediately apply it to your life, or you can see how it applies to your life right away. His thought: failure to success is a lot easier than excuses to success. I want to Brianize that, saying failure to, failure to success is a much shorter route
oh
than
my God.
excuses to success. Okay. And he talked about how you must keep them closer together. Keep like the failing is a part of it. Failing is a part of succeeding. Failing is a part of the winning. They're not separate. And I think you need to keep banging that drum because we all need to hear that more
Mhm.
often. Please continue. I didn't want to. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I want to leave you with another
No, you're not leaving
great
us
quote.
yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm not leaving yet. But I want you to lean into this one. Your next move matters more than your last mistake.
Your next move matters
Matters
more.
more than your last mistake.
Love it. What do you mean by that?
It simply means that you're not defined by your mistakes or even the mistake you just made. It's all about qualifying yourself immediately and understanding that that mistake you made can be used as fuel to take that next step. And I'll go this far as well to say the very things you believe disqualify you or define you are the very reasons and experiences that God will use to prepare you to take that next step or make that next move in your life. And this is when I'm going to preach too, where with Romans 8:28, one of my favorite verses. And we
Hmm.
know that in all things,
That's right.
God works for the good for those who love and honor him. So
That's right.
this is a mindset thing, Brian and listeners, to where it's all how we view our mistakes and failures that makes the difference in terms of how quick we can reset, rebuild, and move on. Take that next step, not allow anything to define you, and realize that, losing is part of winning, failure is part of success. I don't know anybody who's had significant success who has not failed. And let me say this, I'm on a roll, but we all need to reflect more, Brian. We all need to reflect back on our lives and examine how far we've come. Look at the great things that you've accomplished in your life, everyone. One thing I realized in writing the book is I didn't take enough time to clap for myself,
Oh, wow.
to applaud myself. And I broke down. I got teary eyed a few times throughout writing the book because of that. It's like, that would have been really nice if I'd done that for me. And now I want to encourage more people to do that for themselves, to celebrate those victories along their way. And more importantly, understand that if you got through that, because we've all been through stuff, that's part of life, then you can get through this, whatever that
That's
is right
amazing.
now. So reflection
Um,
is powerful.
let me
And
let
it's
me clap my
constantly
hands to
headed
that, and
towards
I want to jump
something.
in too because you again reminded me of something. This past Saturday, I presented at the Dominate Conference, the 10th annual Dominate Conference, but I forgot to even mention it. Okay. I presented there at the Connected Leaders Academy 10th annual Dominate Conference, and there were a bunch of speakers. And one of the speakers, I listened to some of the other speakers too, their programs. He said he was more enthusiastic than me. He was a very enthusiastic guy. And he was talking about the time in his life when he wasn't, and he was doing cocaine and he was doing all kinds of drugs. And he said he had even allowed himself to start watching the news every day. And it was messing with his attitude and his mindset. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've allowed myself to get sucked back into politics and start watching that. And it never made me feel good. Even now, it doesn't make me feel good. I watch just a little bit of it. It makes me feel less good. So I was like,
Mhm.
stop that, Brian. I have control over what I let come in my ear gates. And over this past weekend, I've spent a lot of time with Napoleon Hill stuff, his trainings and his mindset trainings. And he was talking about the seeds that we plant into our fertile mind. What you are doing today for me, John, and for hopefully someone else, is you're planting good seed in good soil. And a lot of times, folks, when you take this seed, be quiet about it. Let that seed marinate and do what it's got to do. The seed has to sink down and sink out before it goes up. So
Mhm.
thank you for this, man. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I often think about the importance of just showing gratitude, you know, how we start our day. You use the
Hmm.
word planting a seed. When we wake up in the morning, that's a gift from God right off the top. That's
Yes,
something to
sir.
be grateful for. And as we show gratitude, we're planting a seed, building a strong foundation for the way we build the rest of our day, because we're not starting off and focusing what we lack, we're focusing on what we have. And we all know what bad days feel like when setbacks happen, distractions, life just simply doesn't go as planned. But I'll tell you this, when you start your day off with gratitude, you are less shakable whenever these setbacks and adversities hit us left and
Because they're
right,
going to
just
keep
like
coming.
jabs. But
They're going to keep coming. You don't have to
they're gonna
look for the
keep coming.
adversity.
They're going to keep coming. So
Yep.
it's all how you prepare yourself for life, because life is hard. But I often say we need to choose our hard, right? Because
Mm.
we know life is hard, let's choose which way we want to go. I find that in areas of my life where I struggle, and we all have them, when I choose easy, I'm just making life harder later. But in
Mm.
those areas where I've got it more together, that those natural gifts that God gave me, natural interests, well, by choosing the hard, I've made life a little easier for me later. So it's all about which way do you want to roll? Pay the price of discipline, pay the price of regret. We've heard it said several ways, but that's another thing I often encourage people to do is choose the
Because
hard.
you're right. We have heard it lots of times, but
Yeah,
sometimes we just need to hear it one more time.
one
And
more time.
sometimes, John, we need to hear it from the right person. I really
Amen.
believe that
Amen.
not everybody can hear me, but the people that can hear me, I'm for them. Okay. And I don't believe any of you entrepreneurs out there, you're not supposed to be able to sell everybody. You're not even supposed to be able to reach everybody, but you are supposed to be able to reach your people.
Yes.
John Topper can say the same thing John Topper said. Okay. But there'll be someone that can completely hear him and not hear me at all. It's because of his connection with them, his magnetism to them. And there's some things I can say, and if John tried to say it, they couldn't hear him at all. Okay, but they can hear it from me, because of something. I don't know what that magic is, but I do believe we all have it. Dr. Beverly, Uzama Ra, you all have. There's an audience of people that can hear you and receive you. And your job, I believe, your job is to connect with them. When we speak as speakers, John's one too, in an audience of 100 people, let's just take that as an example. There's going to be some people in that room that really want to hear it. And there's going to be some people in the room that really don't want to be hear it. And there's going to be some people there that's just because they think they're supposed to be there. But I had this thing, I want to talk to the ones that want it. I want to talk to the ones that can hear it. Does that make sense, John?
It does. It does. And I'm chuckling because I sometimes feel that it has to do with being too close to some people as to why they won't listen. It's like, well, I knew John Topper when he was a little boy. I know him for all the mistakes that he's made. What's he know?
Right.
Whatever.
What's he know?
It's funny how we can say the same thing as someone else from out of town. And when they come in and speak on some of the same things we've told people, we'll lay the red carpet down for them.
Even Jesus had to leave Nazareth to become a prophet.
Got away from his hometown. Yes.
Yeah, because they couldn't. We knew him as a little boy.
Absolutely. The best example. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What's the definition of an expert? The guy from the next town with the briefcase.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I know we don't have much more time. I do want to get something
so
out.
Let me say this. We don't have much time, but I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you 2.5, 3 minutes or so, because I want you to speak directly to this audience.
Sure.
Now, this audience is entrepreneurial.
Okay.
They're mature. They're very loving. They're very supportive. And they love on our guests, too. I put it in right away in the chat today. At the top of the chat, if you scroll up, you'll see how to connect with John. You'll also see some links to his books and his programs right at the top of the chat, because it's very likely, John, someone is connected with your spirit and they want to follow up with you. So all you got to do is just scroll up. His links are already there. So, John, I'm going to give you the platform, and I want you to just speak to this loving, mature audience, mostly women audience, okay?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we spoke of struggle and those fights. And interestingly enough, back in 2023, there was a Gallup poll that showed one of the bigger fights a lot of people face is not being happy with what they're doing. They don't feel that they've aligned what they're doing with their purpose in life. So what I'm excited about is, I've become a licensed purpose factor facilitator, a purpose coach. And what it allows me to do is help people who are struggling through transition, struggling with their purpose, struggling lining up their natural skill sets with what they're doing. So, I would invite anyone who would want to, discuss with me how I can help them, discover what's called their natural advantage, which are the skills or the little birthday gifts, as Stephen Covey called them, that God gave you. Get clarity on your purpose. And then, if you choose to, I can work with you to help you build what I call a comeback ready next move for your life, so that we can align your purpose, your natural skill sets with what you're doing. Because I believe, it's an unfair fight that a lot of people are fighting. And mind you, it's up to 77% of people like this, where they're just not feeling like what they're doing is fulfilling their purpose. And therefore, it's difficult for them to help others fulfill theirs, right? So I just wanted to put that out there, Brian, and all listeners. And like he said, my email's there, the link to my website. Get to the bottom of the website, put your information in there. And if what I just said interests you, please reach out to me and we can discuss a way forward.
John, I knew I was going to love you as a guest. I love you as a man and a purpose partner. I look forward to hugging you on Friday, this upcoming Friday.
Yes.
I do want to encourage people to pick up the book, Wrestling with Destiny, A Man's Journey of Resilience, Faith, and Redemption. And I think it's great. Look, my wife loves it. Okay, go ahead.
And may I add, I've got another book out. It's called The 7 Steps to the Comeback Ready Life. And it's a companion guide to the book you just held up. I like to say Wrestling with Destiny is my story. The 7 Steps to the Comeback Ready Life is what I learned from it. So I wanted to get that out.
The 7 Steps to the Comeback Ready Life.
So Come Back Ready is my brand. That's my business. But I want to throw that in there, Brian.
All right, this podcast goes until it's 9:34 Eastern right now. We go to 9:52 Eastern is when we end it. Can you hang out in the green room, John? I might pull you back up. Or
Sure.
do you have to rush off?
I don't have to rush. You can put me
All
back in the
right.
green room.
All right,
Absolutely.
stay ready because likely I will. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Was that not a great guest? Let me catch up the comments. Okay. Robin C. Stern, morning, sir. Let me go back up a little bit. Susan, we got that. Dr. Beverly says, I tell people at work all the time, I don't want to be labeled and always right. I want to be known for doing the right thing. That's what she wants to be known for. She also goes on to say, hi, John Topper. How are you? Welcome to the family. She welcomed John to the family. She also put in turning excuses into exercise. Woo. She also put turning excuses into execution. She also says, my next move matters more than my last mistake. And she continues contributing with, take the time to clap for myself. I do that by listening to the song Bravo by Lettucey. Pick up on that comment right there. Taking the time to clap for yourself. Can you imagine you doing that? I'm struggling with it. I'm challenged with it. How do I clap for myself? Because I grew up learning that. How many of y'all heard this before? Don't toot your own horn, or don't brag, or don't be arrogant, or don't try to get attention. Am I the only one that heard those things growing up? Okay, but John suggested that we learn to clap for ourselves. He said, looking back at his life, things that he's done, he wishes that he had taken the time to clap for himself. Toastmasters is a wonderful organization. Everyone should take part in Toastmasters at least some point in their lives. But one of the principal things about Toastmasters is there is a lot of applauding in Toastmasters. They applaud you for standing up. They applaud you for making your way to the lectern before you even opened your mouth. You're getting applauded on your way there. You get applauded on your way to your seat. And where else do we get that much applause when we stand up to go do something? I wish there was more places. But taking the time to clap for yourself, what would that look like? Listening to John this morning, I caught myself having done something amazing this past Saturday that after I was done with it, I didn't even talk about it no more. But that was a moment to clap for myself. I did show up and I did deliver, and my talk did rock, and people did get value out of it. I saw the comments after my talk, but I didn't even say anything about it. But John reminded me, wait a minute, you're doing stuff, B. Dr. Lisa is in the chat. Oh, she goes, hey, baby, on my way home. Baby, if you didn't catch John's talk today, John Topper's talk, catch the 9:15. I didn't tell John, but I'm going to say it now because I know he's still in the green room. These podcasts have long shelf lives. They do. We will get the comments, especially on YouTube. When we put this stuff on YouTube, people will watch this stuff on YouTube next month, 6 months from now, next year, and comment on guests we've had last year or 6 months ago. So we know these podcasts have long shelf lives. Some of you guys saw it today live speed, but there's going to be more people than you that catch it afterwards. She says, hey, baby, on my way home, John Topper delivered. Baby, he did. He was loving, he was true to himself, and he gave us stuff that we could take away. Look at the comments that Dr. Beverly wrote. You'll see. Taking the time to clap for yourself. Now, John also said, just waking up is your first winning of the day. You start the day off, if you just get up, okay, that's your first wins of the day right there. When he said that, I was thinking, what a great thought, especially on a Monday, because I like to think of Monday as the first day of your work week. And if you want to have a successful week, you need to have a successful Monday. And I think John Topper can be a part of all of our successful Monday. I think Mondays set the pace for your week. If you ass around on a Monday, or if you're ineffective on a Monday, it makes the rest of the week have more pressure on it to have a successful week. Dr. Lisa submits, I'll be watching from the road. We have been packing and cleaning. Okay. And I know she cleaning. Okay. That's what she do. She goes, I knew he would be awesome. His book is amazing. So she's read your book cover to cover because that's what she do too. Yeah, his book is amazing. That's an endorsement from our friend DrLisa. His book, Wrestling with Destiny, is amazing. Why would you read a book like that? Why would you do it? Okay. Why do we spend our time listening to other great speakers and thought leaders? What's the alternative? We could watch sitcoms. I hate sitcoms. I never watch them. Okay. Never. Okay. Any of them. But there's things we have to do. We get to do. We get to make choices every day on how we spend our time. I rebuked myself a week or two ago from allowing myself to get sucked into politics and watching the news. I slapped my own hand about that. Okay. I could choose to watch just sports, or I could choose to feed myself with something like Wrestling with Destiny, something like something that's helpful. I've been doing a lot of Napoleon Hill lately and Jim Rome lately. Those old heads, why would you listen to those old guys? Jim Rome, really? On Napoleon Hill? Why would you listen to philosophers from the 40s? Why would you do that, Brian? Because all of our new philosophers borrow from them. they, they borrow their stuff. John mentioned the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. That book was written, I think, in the 80s by uh, Stephen Covey, Dr. Stephen Covey, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Those seven habits convict my life every day today. Okay, there's seven. My marriage, they're in my marriage. My wife knows those tenets too. Seek to understand before being understood. What are you spending your time? Are you spending your time doing things that are important and not urgent? Or are you spending your time only on the urgent stuff? Okay, doing stuff that's important to do and not urgent. No one's going to say you have to do it now. That's where most of the winning happens. Doing it's important to exercise, but it's not urgent. No one says you have to do it now. It's important to eat right, but it's not urgent. It's important to thank people, but it's not urgent. It's important to follow up, but it's not urgent. It's important to reach out to people, but it's not urgent. Doing those things that are important to do, but not urgent, is where we win in life. Oh my gosh, I've gotten off schedule. It's already 9:41. I haven't done. DrLisa put the link for his book. Get your copy. I got to do two things before we do greeting songs. We're going to do our greeting songs. First thing I have to do, or I get to do, okay, not have to do. We've been doing for 2 years Today in African American History. Today in African American History, and we've been coming from the same book, Today in African American History, 366 Days of Historical Events and Accomplishments by Michael A. Carson. My wife and I are so excited because we've had Michael A. Carson, the author of this amazing tome, as a guest here before. So today is June the 22nd, and I'm going to be really quickly about it because we got to get to the greeting songs. June 22nd, I'm going to pick one. All right, 1965. On this date in 1965, the Freedom National Bank became the first chartered bank that was owned and operated by African Americans in Harlem, New York. 1965 was the first year Freedom National Bank became the first chartered bank in Harlem, New York that was owned and operated by Black people. That was amazing. 1965, that's just 61 years ago. It's 9:43 now. John, if you haven't heard, we say thank you to our consistent contributors on here. And our consistent contributors are people who regularly put stuff in the comment section. And the way we do that is with greeting songs and with greeting logos. Now, these greeting songs and greeting logos are designed to be sung and done as a duet. But my wife ain't here today, so I got to do them by myself. And I'm nervous about it, but I'm going to go muscle through it, okay? I'm gonna get through it best I can. Okay. Up first today is Miss Phyllis George. She has one too, and it goes, Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Dr. Beverly has a logo, and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And good morning to you and the rest of your crew. She often watches us while she's at work. Uzama Ra's got a song too that goes, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama. That's Uzama's greeting jam. How does he get a song with his name in it? He contributes regularly. And if you contribute regularly, you're going to get one too. Like Susan Kennedy has one. Susan Kennedy, you're everything I've hoped for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. That's Susan Kennedy's jam. Man, you can't sing. I never said I could. I'm just greeting my people. Robin C. Stern, he's got one too. Robin C. Stern, he's your Google guru. Teach, teach, teach. Your Google guru. Teach, teach, teach. That's Robin C. Stern's greeting jam. He got a song too. Yes, he contributes. DrLisa, this girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. All right, that's all we got for today. Lisa and I have probably 60 or more songs in our head. How do you guys remember all those songs? Difficultly. We need each other's help and we need your help too. All right, so it's 9:45. We've done the greeting songs. John, I'm gonna bring John back into the room. Okay, first off, John, thank you again. You've been an amazing guest. But did you enjoy your time here with us today?
I really did. I just got done. I was ready to send a comment that I thoroughly enjoyed being on your podcast. Thank you
Okay,
and
beautiful.
Dr. Lisa so much. Yes.
Yes. Now, the people in this thread, the people that come here, you would be impressed, John, by how accomplished we are. There's a lot of entrepreneurs doing things, a lot of people with doctorates doing things.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people here. I mean, you can almost pick a name that comes to
Yes.
this thread here. They're all really accomplished people. Hmm.
Yes. And it took me a while to get into the comments, but I can see that there are a lot of accomplished people. So,
Hmm.
I appreciate their time and coming on and, just listening to, like I say, if we talked about meeting one person at certain events, how one person could make a difference. If there's one person someone can say, and it happened to be me today, that can make a difference in a person's life or just in the way they live out today, hey, it's all worth it, be
Dr. Beverly
thankful for
says,
that.
thank you for being here. Come by more often. You
Sure.
are our new brother. And
Hey,
she gets
absolutely.
to say so. John and I was talking before the podcast began, and we was talking about well, we talked about so much today. Man, I
Yes,
was just had an amazing thought. Senior moment just hit me. But one of the things I was thinking, but the people that show up, the people that would show up to a conference, the people that would show up to a thread like this, that you already know some stuff about them because not everybody would show up for nothing like this. Not
that's right.
everyone would show up to a conference on learning how to do something or to be motivated or to
Mm,
learn how to achieve or something. But only champions will show up for stuff like that. You
that's
know,
right. They want to grow.
they want to grow.
They want to grow. They want to keep being the best version of themselves they can be. And we realize that, you know, if we don't change, we don't grow. Change is necessary for growth. And if the one person or the 3 to 5 people that we're going to listen to at an event or a podcast, etc., can help trigger us to grow or make that change that we needed to feel inspired to do, then so be it. It was worth it. I mean, I'm a I'm a huge believer in staying open for growth and understanding that in order for me to move from where I am to where I want to be, something has to change. And oh, by the way, that's also going to hurt a little.
Ooh.
But that's where we can go back and remind ourselves that it takes some pain. It takes some pain to promote change. In order to be something you want to be and have never been, you got to do something that you've never done. It just makes sense.
It made
So,
sense. I want to apologize. I didn't say it the whole time. My wife just reminded me. It's John Topper the third. It's not just John
oh,
Topper.
yes, and I'm proud of that. Absolutely. Proud to be the
I,
third.
I didn't say
Yes.
it one time. Please forgive me.
Forgiven. It's okay.
Um,
It's okay.
you just said something about that change. It might hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I there was a time in my life where I eschewed philosophy of no pain, no gain. I wanted to argue against that. Okay. And I did effectively argue against it, at least to myself. You don't have to have a lot of pain in order to gain. Okay. Because I was in the gym all the time at the time. And I worked out, but I stopped short of hurting myself. Okay. I stopped short of ripping the bicep to shreds. Okay. Because
Mhm.
but if I had, I know it heals and makes it muscle bigger. Okay.
Right.
But I find value in that. And I even wrote an article just last week about the value of the pain of getting out of the comfort. Staying in the comfort with no pain is a losing place. There's no winning there. But getting out of the comfort where there is some pain and potential for loss, that's where the winning happens. I wrote an article just last week. So see how I had to change my mindset. And here you are mentioning it.
You know, what I've learned about life is that people will not change, Brian, until the pain of where they are is far worse than the pain of change.
Yeah.
And, and that's all of us. So sometimes people don't like us being blunt with one another, but I think it's key to be blunt with ourselves at times too, where if we've been stuck for months, years, and we complain about the same thing over and over, you know what? It doesn't hurt bad enough. I
I had a
told a buddy
client.
this. I told a buddy
That
this last month, and I'm able to say this to him. I said, "Listen, I've been hearing you say this now for 5 years. 5 years. So I'm just going to tell you right now. You act like you say you're hurting, but you're not hurting bad enough, or you
All
would
right, I
do
got to
what?"
put you back down, John. I got to close out.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
sorry.
don't but don't leave. Okay, don't leave, please.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I had to put him back in the green room so we could wrap up and close out. Dr. Lee says, "Hey Trey." Dr. Beverly says, "The third generation of John Toppers only means your roots are 3 times stronger than any excuse." Dr. Beverly's a fan, man. Oh my gosh. He's the kind of guy that if you listen to him just a few minutes, you're gonna be in a conversation, and then because all the stuff he said reminded me of different things in my life. Stronger than yesterday. That's John Toppers. He says, "I have thoroughly enjoyed being on this podcast. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you, John, for being our special guest." It's 9:52. We've come and we've done what we said we're gonna do. Dr. Lisa, I look forward to seeing you back in the house. I got a hug and a kiss from my pretty wife. Thank you for joining us. Uh, this is Monday. Monday's the first day of your calendar week. You also day your first day of week. Have a good Monday. Have a good day. And in honor of my wife, who's not here, because she always closes the show out with this thought: don't forget to have sex. Bye bye.